I know those will work. Ah, my. We've not heard from Uncle DeRoy for almost 24 hours. Man, maybe he's taking a break. You know what? He deserves it. So, since Uncle DeRoy and the Jersey Tard are both kind of on hiatus, I figured it'd be an excellent time to say, you know what? Let's go and actually do the videos that I kind of wanted to do anyway, rather than just responding to his non-responses to not me, and we pretend like we're not referring to one another in videos. So, yeah. This video, folks, if you hadn't guessed by the goddamn title, is Reasoning with Atheists. And I did not actually look at the description because, okay. Yeah, so the description is even more interesting, which I probably should have looked at. What is this utopia that atheists are fighting for? I didn't know I was fighting for utopia, so I'm going to learn something new. You're going to learn something new, and we're all going to grow dumb together. So I'm going to go start making my coffee like I always do during the intro, and we're all going to lose some fucking brain cells. So I hope y'all are looking forward to this, and I hope Mr. DeRoy definitely learns a thing or two, other than just like really just making up shit. Like I don't know of an atheist who says, you know what, I'm going to make a utopia. I don't think that's the thing. At least I don't believe so. I don't know. But we'll find out. Maybe he has receipts. Maybe. I doubt it. He never does. But let's see what Uncle DeRoy can pull out his ass this time. So, on that note, where's that intro? Where is it? There it is. Oh, man. G-Man's fapping music is me talking. Yeah, there's some truth to that. There's definitely some truth to that. So, I woke up a little while ago, if you couldn't tell, but I got some coffee, so I'm good. Oh man, why is there a PS? Oh, that's why. That's why there's a PS4 controller. D-Roy Cruz was over here last night playing the PlayStation. That's why. Or me and the wife were watching Handmaid's Tale and fell asleep. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Got biochemistry for 6 hours today. Man, but it's my Friday, so I don't give a shit. Because after today, I'm gonna go and help my cousin move, and then the wife has a job interview, and then I think we're going fishing or something. If not Friday, we're not going fishing Friday. We're going fishing Saturday. So your Patreon dollar's hard at work, and other stuff. For my kids. All right. Before I forget, let me plug in my phone, because I'll do this and then it's time to go, and then my phone's at 40%. I'm wondering why it's on 40%. You talk too fast. Yeah, I realized when I was calling into Skylar's that I can't really do his voice because I talk at a regular human's pace. Y'all know something? Speaking of that, y'all know something real funny? I was going to go back to the beginning of his channel and then review videos specifically like concerning atheists and other groups that he has no idea about. But I was like, I'm probably not going to do that. I'll probably start from the ones he's done, I guess, nearest this date, and then just kind of go backwards. But I did notice something, and you'll see it down here. Look in the comments, and sure enough, Bionic Dance is aware of this guy because she made a comment 4 weeks ago. I had no idea. I'll have to talk to Bionic Dance and ask her if she is even like. She probably just said fuck it. No. What's with the American flag? He's a real patriot. That's why. Well, I guess I can't say anything. The lanyard that I had Army on it, but I gotten that lanyard when I first joined the Army. So I was like, okay, I need a lanyard anyway. Let me just get an Army one. I've never been a fan of like the flag theme anything, because I mean there's if you actually look into the law of the United States, it's kind of says something about turning the flag into shit like that, the bikinis and all this other kind of stupid shit. So yeah. Anyway. But that's how you show that you're a real patriot, by wearing flag stuff, not respecting the rights of your fellow Americans. You know, yeah. Oh, did I mention, folks? I was in the Army, man. How could I forgot? I have to keep mentioning this. I was a combat medic in the Army. Has nothing to do with this conversation video. I have to mention it because there are people looking at me on the internet. Anyway. Let's get into it. Mr. Cruz doesn't look too pleased, but he looks like he's going to educate us. And yes, I've already increased the speed so that, you know, we can listen to him at a regular human pace of speaking, talk intervals with the words and the stuff and the things and whatnot and everything and whatnot.
Cruz here, your life applications officer. I think I get it as to why people are afraid of becoming under the power and influence of something different than what they commonly understand as the standard. Now, I think there's a lot of things in this world. For example, abortion, homosexuality, feminism, you know, and a lot of these other liberal platforms. I think most of us have come to the place where we understand that I hope my fans aren't too loud for you, but it's hot in here and I can't put my air conditioner in the window yet because I don't have the kit for it, but hopefully the fans ain't too loud for you. But everybody's afraid, and I think the atheists are afraid of Christianity not because they can prove that there is no God, or not because they even believe that I need to prove more than the scriptures that there is no God. But I think what it is with them is they are afraid of being under the power and influence of something that is not the standard, but I'm trying to think of another way to explain it. Not easy for them to just pick it up and accept it, and I understand that. Let me tell you something.
Okay, this is probably the most accurate thing I've ever actually heard him say about Nathan. I will let me just try my best to be very charitable to him in this video. He's already identified a few issues with, the kind of the burden of proof is on you, Mr. Cruz. That there are strong atheists who take a different position, whatever. Whatever. But you're kind of sort of getting at what a lot of us really don't care for, just to acquiesce to all of these different beliefs and standards because you believe that there's some disembodied entity out there that everyone just needs to defer to because reasons. Like that is kind of an issue. There is no way to this entity, this whatever it is beyond reproach. And so if it one day deems that you know what, you need to literally eat your parents, and guess what, you better fucking do it. That's not a good way to live. That's not a good way to live. And I'm putting that out there to illustrate the fact that just because something deems something, an entity deems an act or a behavior moral doesn't inherently make it moral. And you could even say that there's an entire school of thought that actually covers that, or examples in the history of philosophy where they literally discuss that very thing. I don't know, maybe something to do with God being pious and moral edicts and something like that. Anyway, that's kind of an issue, Mr. Cruz. Kind of an issue. And so a lot of us would rather take responsibility for our own moral barometer and our moral actions and deeds and offer rational justification for them, rather than saying, oh my God, there's something that told me to do this. I don't actually want to do this, but I'm just following because that's easier for me to do than actually spending time and thinking. As the many of us have expressed in the past. That now, do I think that that's what theists believe? Is, I don't want to take responsibility. No, I don't actually think that. I think though that it's easier. I think it's easier for a lot of people not to sit and actually think about, okay, if I were to remove my objective moral lawgiver and actually take time to evaluate the situation and then to make a determination, that takes a whole lot of thought. When you really sit down and think about it, just going through those motions and then having a justification that can offer some defense if challenged. But it's easier. It is easier to say, well, I'm just listening to that entity there, and then if everyone else is listening to it, I don't have to take responsibility for that. Because that is an inherent advantage for you being able to just say, well, I'll just acquiesce to whatever it is. That is the advantage on the face of it, on the surface. And I think that is something that a lot of us have a problem with, because you're presuming that whatever this entity is has your best interest in mind. Okay, sure, why not, right? No.
You're going to be under the control, and you are, is right now as we speak, you are under the control of someone else.
Oh, huge difference there. Huge difference there. People don't have a problem following a standard, but that standard is not beyond reproach. If we don't like the laws that we have in our country, in our society, we can amend them. We can evaluate them. We can remove them. You kind of can't do that with a disembodied entity that supposedly has created the entire universe. That's just a little bit different. A little bit different. A little bit different. And I don't like it when I hear theists try to complain, or I should say, I got to get all my words correctly. Sorry. I've been listening to idiocy all week, and I no longer have all the best words. When you try to compare an objective moral lawgiver that is beyond reproach with humans who make laws that aren't beyond reproach, with laws that we can amend or just completely get rid of, right? That's a huge difference. It's not the fact that there's an authority, because all of us have, all of us are adults. We have an authority. We go to work, right? We have a boss. Some of us are bosses. We have the police. We are under the law as a society. All of us understand that. That's not the issue. The issue, the real big issue, is that we're supposed to somehow agree that this is this standard that you're deferring to, you want everyone else to defer to, that no one can amend, that no one can evaluate at all, change, nothing at all. No, that's not going to work.
Not under the control of anybody else. Walk out into the public street and pull out your gun and just shoot it up in the air and see if don't nobody call the police. If you don't think you're under the control of anyone, walk into the supermarket butt naked. Here's a better one. You don't think you're under anyone's control, get in your car and go 100 on a highway. And do it until someone decides to pull you over, because someone's going to pull you over. It's just a matter of time before they do. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't think that someone's in control of you, go to your local school, your local public school where your kids go to school, and say, hey, I don't agree with what you're teaching them. This is what you shall teach them. And see if they teach what you want them to teach your kids. Now, they're going to teach your kids what they are legalized and indoctrinated to teach your kids. Everybody is under the control of some kind of elite, some kind of higher social governmental standard. Everybody is under the control. Now, in the Bible, when the Christians lost control, and how did they lose control? They lost control in the Old Testament because they disobeyed God, and God allowed things to happen to them. One was them being taken captive by another nation. This other nation, a lot of times, not only took them as captive as slaves, but it also took them as captives and made them do whatever kind of work that they wanted them to do. And a lot of times this meant also taking their wives for themselves. Just like Abraham needed to go because of the famine, he needed to go down to Egypt, I believe it was, to feed his family, Abraham. And the Pharaoh, I believe it was, almost took his wife. And the only reason why Pharaoh didn't take his wife was because Abraham prayed to God. And God used what Pharaoh thought was his religion. He spoke to Pharaoh in a dream. Pharaoh was probably thinking that it was his religion that God was speaking to him from. And this goes on a lot even today. Okay? Just ask some of these Muslims that converted to Christ. Okay? And God spoke to Pharaoh. He got Pharaoh's attention through a voice that Pharaoh would listen to. And Pharaoh got mad at Abraham. He said, I almost slept with your wife. I almost took your wife. But he thought that not only would they take his wife, but they would kill him because of his wife. Because why? They're the authority. They're the power. And if you don't think we have that same kind of Babylonian, ancient Egyptian power going on today in America, you're dumb. Because we do. We have the same power, the same manipulation and humiliation going on in America today, where everybody is a sucker for money. And you think you got a happy marriage until you started making money.
Oh.
Once you started making money, your wife didn't allow you to make less.
Oh. Oh, so he means that humans in the course of human history have had the same set of behaviors as they did in the past. Man, D-Roy, oh my goodness, I am completely mind blown by the fact that humans have been humans for ancient times up until now. Oh my God, this is a revelation. I had no idea that currency in one society caused people to behave a certain way, and that currency in a different society caused people to act the same exact fucking way, and that this trend has continued throughout the ages. Holy shit. I just learned something. Thank you, life application officer. I had no idea that humans were creatures of habit. I had no idea. Oh my God, mind blown. But now we're about to learn about something about his wife and more about his life and how he could not apply these lessons to his own damn life.
You start making the big bucks, your wife left you because you started going back to what you was. A simple old average guy that had the potential to make money but didn't have any because it wasn't appropriate at that time. It happens every day in various people's lives where they think they're making all this money and they're getting up there and then they lose because they felt more that their marriage was a blessing from God and not just. And
you should have did what I did. You marry her while you're fucking broke, right? And you have a car with no AC and it's hot as hell in Louisiana, and you got to roll the windows down, and that bitch breaks down every other stoplight that you stop at because probably the water pump's probably fucked up and it's just overheating. But yeah, just do what I did. And so when you have a little bit of money, she's impressed and she'll stay around forever because she's already been with you at your little spot. There you go, right? That's how you win. That's probably why I'm still married. But, you know, hey.
Something that came out of their money. And women are into this more than men. Women will sit there and love a man until that man begins to make money. And then she'll hate him if he starts to tamper with her luxurious lifestyle. She'll hate him for it and divorce him for it and marry somebody or even commit adultery first with somebody that's making the bucks, that's able to make her rich.
Does anybody think that he ended up finding a woman who really didn't like him at all, but he probably had a decent job, and so she was like, fuck it, this idiot will just work for me, and I'll play the game until I find somebody better, probably taller, more handsome, you know, more successful, and then she said, boop, deuces. Does anybody get that feeling? Because I know of women like that, and they know how to play the fucking game, and they'll know that, you know what, she's a fucking 8.5, 9, while he's a steady 3. And so, you know what, as a steady 3, he makes decent enough money so she can do whatever she wants. So, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't just me, because his posture changed just ever so slightly when he started giving this example, and it started to seem a little personal, just a little bit. Like it's starting to sound like a therapy session almost. Like it's like talking about this is cathartic for him, because mind you, we're supposed to be talking about reasoning with atheists. And the atheist you took, what the fuck does this have to do about that? Like nothing at all. Like something triggered a memory, and he was like, "Fuck that bitch." he is just venting at this point, and a part of me feels sad, but I'm willing to put some money on this woman. Actually, she was probably stacked. She was probably a winner in most people's books, and he thought he lucked out, and she was nope, you sir are a stepping stool in my life, and I will find Jean-Claude Van Hangerdick, and so he is going to fucking destroy her uterus and pay for her lifestyle and give her what she needs in life. More power to you, woman. More power to you. But if you didn't see that coming, don't know what to say. Oh man. You need to stop copying G-Man, or G-Man will sue him. I'm waiting. There's so many LOL suits out there, man. I got about 8 LOL suits against me. Other folks got some new LOL suits against them. I don't even know what to say. It used to be a meme on the Great Debates where people would sue each other. Now folks are dead serious, man. I don't know. Like, I'm just laughing. This shit's funny to me. It's like this shit here is funny to me too. All this shit's funny to me. Please subscribe to Sock Account so he can be encouraged to make more videos. I became a patron to Sock Account, even though I know he ain't gonna upload shit. So he gets $1 a month from me. You know, hey. This guy, he's a solid 3. He is a solid fucking 3. Does he rock some cargo shorts though? I don't think so. Real women don't wear cargo shorts, but that's okay. Everyone has their taste. It's all right.
Okay, and it goes on today. The pharaohs, the Babylonians, the kings, the pagan kings are still in charge. Right here in America, they're still in charge. And here you are afraid to give in to Christian philosophy or theology because you're afraid that it's indoctrinating you and taking authority over you to pull you into something that you're uncomfortable with. I got news for you. Again, always has been that way and always will be that way.
What the fuck does this have to do with women?
There are people today that have their money and they have their lifestyle and they're afraid that tomorrow their dollar will not be the value of $1. The value of $1 will go down to a penny.
That's
that
economics.
Means they're not nearly as rich.
Economics
or
happens.
Not even worthy to be called rich anymore. You can't go in the store today. I remember when I could, back in the early 80s.
Oh my
God. You
God.
could go buy penny candy at the store.
Oh my God.
You can't do that today. You go in the store and you say, "Oh, I only got 5 pennies."
This is fucking inflation?
And say,
are you complaining about inflation?
matter of fact,
he's really sitting here complaining. What the fuck does this have to do about anything? Like, it's almost amazing. It's almost amazing how much he doesn't know about literally every fucking topic. I didn't even imagine that he would go into one of these old man rants and completely just I used to be able to get a fucking penny candy. I can't get the penny candies anymore, and I used to go in there and get the pudding pops, and the pudding pops was 5 cents, but I couldn't get the penny candies. I could get 5 penny candies with a nickel. Oh, it's like, oh, okay. And do you know what the fucking inflation is? I do. Most people know what inflation is. Are you really? What does this have to do with the fucking topic? How does inflation play a role in reasoning with atheists? You need to stop going on these old man rants where you just, I remember the penny candy. No one gives a shit, Grandpa. No one gives a shit. Oh my God, I see why Bionic Dance got frustrated. If she didn't make a video about this, I think I know why. Because this is just painful. You can't keep... I want to see one fucking video, because I know he still watches my shit. Can you make one video where you stay on topic? Make one goddamn video. Just don't go on an old man rant. We don't want to hear about your sad, sorry life. Just state the topic. State what the topic is. Get central thesis, supporting facts and evidence and whatnot, and putting pop and everything and whatnot and everything and whatnot. And then just expound upon it. But stay the fuck on topic. I really just am frustrated with these goddamn old man rants. Like, that is so annoying. And then not to mention the weird, like, homoerotic narrative that you kind of intersperse in these old man rants, and then you kind of go back on topic, and then you feel some gay shit coming on, so you gotta express that too. Just stop it. I know it's a lot of me asking you to speak at a normal goddamn pace, but I can speed you up. I can fix that. We got something for that. But stop it. My God.
Now, don't get me wrong. In some of these old, ancient little neighborhoods, they still got them little stores where, these men will reach out to the kids, and he'll invest his own money for the sake of the children of the neighborhood. Invest his own money so that he can sell penny candy to the kids.
The penny candies for the kids.
A cookie for a nickel or whatever. He'll invest himself into that so that he has liberty to do that. But it's costing him.
Who the fuck cares?
What it cost him. But the manufacturer does not provide these things anymore. Okay? You go to school today. Your kids will be taught things that you don't agree with. And it ain't just Christians.
What does this have to do with anything?
How many atheists don't want you trying to make his kid How many atheists don't want the school board tampering with his child's sexuality? Come on. Are you that much, or are you that much a hell full of demons? How many atheists do not want the government or the public messing with their child's sexuality? If my child wants to be gay, that's his or her decision, not yours. If my child wants to be transgender, that's his or her decision, not yours. If my child wants to be straight, that's a good thing. That's his right, his decision. It's not yours.
What? Wait, the school board tampering with someone's sexuality. So what, did they put fucking gay juice in the school meals? Like what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Literally, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like they putting trans gas in the vents? Like what how do you tamper with someone's sexuality? Do they put fucking dildos in the boys' bathroom or something? Are they putting fucking, like, I have no idea. My mind's full of fuck right now. What are you actually saying? None of this makes it. How does this have anything to do with the penny candies? Your guess is as good as mine. But maybe the kids need the penny candies, so the penny candies are laced with the gay juice, and so the gay juice will make them more susceptible to the trans gas that they put in the vents, and so I just all types of, just all over the goddamn place. All over the goddamn. If y'all want to know where I found this motherfucker, y'all can thank Doc Savage. He finds a weird. I don't know how Doc Savage finds these fuckers. Because he would send this guy to me. I was like, what the fuck? And he will be on the Psychic Vampire podcast. They're going to have a special spot for him. But, oh my God. Like, there's just, he must have dementia. I guess so. Early stage dementia. Something. He's going to see down. What the fuck is he talking about? Like, I love asking him for receipts. I know he will never actually substantiate the shit that he's saying because he has these delusions in his head, obviously. But, man, it's interesting to try and figure out where he got any of this stuff from. It's kind of apparent now that, yeah, he's repressing certain things in his life. But that's on him. If he wants to live like a certain other person and that we know about, then that's on him, man. I say live your best life. Because you don't look too happy to me. I'm enjoying my motherfucking self with my shirtless ass. I'm enjoying myself. I like this. Except it's painful when you start talking about penny candies and economics and shit you don't know about. But you don't look happy. Like this is not the face of somebody who looks like he's enjoying life. It looks like the face of that's the face of scorn. He remembers having that fine ass wife and getting her all these purses and trips and stuff, and then she left him for Jean-Claude Van Swinger Dick. And man, oh man, all that wasted time. I don't know. Just angry and bitter and ignorant. Like that's a bad I would feel bad if I were him, knowing that I don't know shit, that I had to make up a title for myself in order to make myself feel like I'm doing something in life, and then just have all this frustration at all these other groups that I don't really comprehend. Like it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot going on for a man. How you have like all this anger and spite in such a little body? That's my thing. Like, man, I feel just slightly petty this morning. I am curious how little dudes like you and G-Man have all this anger. I'm fucking 6'1" and like near 300 pounds, right? I can hold a lot of anger and spite and hate. How do you hold that in such a little body? How is that physically possible? I feel at least like, there would be a cap. Like there would be an upper limit on how much bullshit that little body can take at any given time. That's me. But I've never been a little dude, so I don't know. I can't really relate to you on that level. So maybe you can make a video and explain that shit to me. But I just, like, how? It seems like such a waste. It does. It's not just you. There's a lot of people who get upset over the internet. I laugh at this shit. Schadenfreude. I laugh at it. It's funny to me. I think it's awesome. While people are mad, I'm going to go fishing. I'm going to laugh at them some more. I'm going to go drinking. I'm going to laugh at them some more. I'm going to come back. I'm going to laugh at them some more. Fuck all that. Life is too short. Maybe it's Napoleon complex. I guess. Now I am actually curious how good the ex-wife looked. I am actually curious. She was a dime piece, and I'm like, yep, that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. I called it. I'm pretty good. Pretty damn good.
But you're afraid. You don't want to follow Jesus because you're afraid Jesus is what? What's Jesus doing? And then here's
we're back on topic now, folks. We're back on topic.
Again, before I say this, it has always been and always will be control over you. Some kind of control over you. You think you can just walk out of your house and leave the door unlocked? No, you cannot in 2019.
We got back on topic, folks.
Walk out of your house and get in your car and drive any way you want to. You think you can just walk out of your house, go to work, and do your daily duties any way you want to? No, there's a dude called the supervisor or the boss or the CEO or the superintendent or the foreman that'll walk right up on in there and change everything you had planned to do today. Oh, you went in there whistling. It's going to be a beautiful day, baby. And all of a sudden, bam. Hey, Scott, step over here for a second. And your whole day has been changed. You got to call your wife and tell her, hey, sweetheart, don't wait up. I'm going to be late for dinner. Something came up here at work. Got to get this out of the way. Wife gets mad at you. Now, this CEO or this superintendent or just your simple supervisor, whatever he is, he can go home to his wife and they having a good time. Hey, he's calling her on the phone. Hey, baby, keep it hot and bothered, baby. I'm coming, baby. Get out the red wine, baby. Get out the tequila. I'm coming, baby. I'm ready. She hopping in the shower, putting on lingerie. She know he ain't going to be late. Meanwhile, your wife mad at you. She holding a grudge for 3-4 days over that mess.
So now we're back on this therapy session of his. Like, this is, I feel kind of bad. Because it's quite clear that these videos aren't the type of videos he originally set out to make. Because, like, every so often in a few of these videos, it's him expressing some frustration or some shit that's happened in his life. I for one, Mr. Cruz, if you need fucking therapy for your divorce, I will start a GoFundMe. Matter of fact, you start the GoFundMe and I will donate half of my fucking Patreon to get you some goddamn therapy. I'm not even joking with you. Not even joking. That is not a joke. If you actually need some therapy for your divorce, because it's quite apparent that you have not gotten over it at all, I will help pay for that. Mental health is some of y'all reached out to me and asked me about my opinion on the Erutica dude. I don't know his name. I didn't watch him. A guy who killed himself. Folks, mental health is very important. And y'all know that if you've been watching me for a while, you know I'm a huge mental health advocate. I've sought mental health multiple times in the past. If Mr. Cruz, if you actually, this all bullshit aside, and that's y'all know when I say all bullshit aside, I'm serious. If you actually need money to go see a therapist for your divorce, as much as I make fun of it, it really seems like you need some help. Because that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. It's just bad. That's just bad. His life story is like Little Dick, civilian version of Sergeant Gibson. Probably. I mean, look, I got it. Like, there's so many fragos that have happened in the military where I've had to call my wife. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to be out in the field for another 3 days. Got it. And I was lucky enough that my wife wasn't fucking my neighbor while I was in the field. But some dudes, yeah, that happened to. They'd be out in the field and, you know, they're getting railed by whoever else was in the rear. You know what? Jody happens. But, I mean, that's a part of life, man. That's just, it is what it is. If you don't have a wife, you know, then no, this is not about his divorce, but he keeps bringing divorce into a conversation about atheists, and you got a lot of catching up to do, Aaron. A lot of catching up to do. This video is supposed to be about, let's go, what is this utopia that atheists are fighting for? And he keeps putting his personal life in there, and it's kind of awkward. Just a little bit. I'm supposed to be responding to what he thinks is atheist and utopia, and the ideals, but for some strange reason, his personal life keeps getting interjected every so often. So we get on topic, and then he got to go back to that. Like I don't know what's going on in his head. Offered to talk to this guy when I first started engaging with him. He basically told me to fuck off. So I said, okay, well, I'll just review videos. That's all right. That's perfectly fine with me. Here's what it is. But man, oh man, you kind of can't help but to feel sorry for him. You kind of can't help it. He can't stay on topic for shit, and I think he needs some therapy to really get over this woman. I don't like that. This is what kind of I want to see who this woman is. Like, I don't want to dox her, but I'm actually curious because in my mind, if he is that upset, he's like, I wasted a lot of money on this bitch. Okay, cool. I feel you on that. But if she was like, what is it? If she was tight, old man, if she was tight, she was stacked, then even worse. If, let's say, she could unhinge her jaw, if she, I don't know, didn't have a gag reflex, I would be that mad. I would absolutely be that mad. If that's the case, Mr. Cruz, then I empathize with you, especially for the last two. Last two are very important.
You're not in control, atheists. You're not in control, LGBTQ community. You're not in control.
Back on topic, folks.
You're just tolerated. You're just a token of somebody's control. You're not in control, but you are a token of somebody else's control. You are a product of somebody else's control. Atheists love to pick on slavery, and they like to use that against Christians. Atheists, when did we ever stop being slaves? When did you ever stop being a slave? Oh, you're not a slave because you can be as gay as you want to be. You're not a slave because you can be as atheist as you want to be. You're not a slave because you can fornicate and drink and smoke and get high and do whatever you want to do.
Okay, I see. Okay, now that we're actually back on topic and there's something to respond to, this is something, and for those of you who might be confused, this is something that G-Man does, and I think this is why he actually likes a lot of G-Man's content. G-Man and Mr. Cruz have the, oh god, they're starting to get, so G-Man and Mr. Cruz have a huge issue where they conflate figurative slavery and literal slavery. So being a wage slave is the same thing as being a chattel slave to them. Now, there's a difference between figurative and literal just on the surface. Just by definition, they're diametrically opposed to one another. But for Mr. Cruz, in order for him to make his point, he has to conflate them. And this is something that G-Man does all the time. I just think in Mr. Cruz's case, he's just being a lazy thinker. In G-Man's case, I don't think that he's actually capable of understanding that there's a difference. So in that, I think I could, if I could sit down, if me and Mr. Cruz actually sat down and hashed out what he's talking about here, we would actually be in agreement on quite a few things. But his depiction, I would contest because it's clearly a conflation of figurative and literal. But I think he has enough mental acumen to understand that. G-Man does not. I'm not, and that's not a joke. That's not me trying to be funny. That's not me shitting on G-Man. He literally he actually has a hard time understanding abstract thinking and non-literal terms. But I don't have to tell you guys, Yes, G-Man says basketball players are slave. Anyone with a contract, by the way, Jeremy, it extends past that. So if you have a contract, this is according to G-Man, you are a literal slave. Just take as much time as you need to think about that. You are a literal slave to G-Man if you have a contract that you must abide by. Employment contract, service contract, doesn't matter. It does not matter. So, yeah, take as long as you need to think about that. As long as you need to.
Within the limits of the nightlife. But you can't do it in broad daylight. And you can't do it at work. And not only that, but all it takes is a letter in the mail. Somebody knows where you live. You ain't never seen this person. You ain't never seen these people. They know where you live. they can send you a letter that'll squash your whole program. Just when I think I got money, somebody sends me a letter in the mail. I looked at one of my bills today. I said, did I not just pay the balance in full? What do you mean? What is this? Got it right here. I just paid the balance in full. According to that, I still owe a balance by the end of this, before the end of this week, and I'm not even getting paid yet. I owe more money. When it told me clearly when I just paid it that in order for your balance to be caught up to date, you must pay this amount. So I'm broke, so that I could keep my current bill up to date, and then they send me this. Now, whether they jiving me, or whether I just can't afford them, I can't afford these bills, whatever way it is. Somebody that is in charge of the bills that I pay, they accept money from me for my bills. I don't own my own light company or my own ability to put lights in my house. I don't own my own water. I don't own my own anything in here. Turn out the lights, and I might as well just pack up and leave. And it's going to have to be broad daylight for me to do that because there ain't no light. I'm going to have to open the curtains to do that. But, we don't want to be indoctrinated. We don't want to be taught fallacies. We don't want to be taught bigotry. But yet, you've always been a slave. You always will be a slave as long as you live on this planet. Somebody has to be in charge. And even your sex life, your sexuality, your life that you fought politics over, all the legislature that has been done for you, because you protested, you voted, and you won. The next person can come in office and just blow that right out of the water. Just like a lot of these Muslims that thought they was going to come in here with some crap. Donald Trump squashed that. Just like a lot of these immigrants, not just the Muslims, but a lot of immigrants. A lot of things that was going to go on just like they've always went on. And Donald Trump says, not this segment, this time.
Now we're on politics, folks. We're on politics now.
And I'm saying that not to glorify Donald Trump. That's another video. I'm saying this because whoever's in office can turn everything around. Just when you thought you had all this buku money, half of that now goes to taxes. So now you got to change your plans that you had for the year 2019 or the year 2020, whichever one. Because now, whether for a good reason or a dumb reason, your money, half your annual is going to taxes.
Mr. Cruz, please. Can we please just stay on topic for once? Come, Mr. Cruz, please.
And we live in a world today where we are given to, while we try to make respirations and claim to be caring about others, we claim to look out for the refugees and immigrants. But what about the people that are already here? See, to me, and this is another video too, to me, America is black and white. It's not green, red, pink, brown, and yellow. It's black and white. To me, America is about black people and white people. We're the natives here. White people because I'm assuming the founding fathers that found this nation were white. Or European or Caucasian.
Wait, okay, so now we're on social issues now. Mr. Cruz. I could have sworn there were people here before white people and black people. I just maybe I had a different history book. Maybe I had to retake American history. Well, I had to take U.S. history recently, and I got to take the second part in the fall. But I could have sworn there were people here before white people and black people. I could have. That was just something that we just all kind of agreed on. Ain't too many of them now, but there's. So now we're going from politics to social issues to now we're going to history, and so but this doesn't surprise me. This Mr. Cruz views the world in black and white, so it doesn't really shock me that he literally views everything in black and white. But please educate us, Mr. I'm 22 minutes into, almost 23 minutes into the video. And I'm still, like, has he mentioned anything about a utopia or any has he made reference to it yet? Did he forget what the video was supposed to be about? I need to start screening these videos or something, because this is just stupid. Like every single video, he cannot stay on topic for nothing.
Whichever you want to call it. And second of all, the blacks are the only ones to spend that much time in the slave trade, which the slave trade built this nation. They've done 99% of the labor that has made this country flourish up to this point, or up to the end of the civil rights movement.
Forget about the Chineses. Don't forget about them Chinamans.
Should be that they are part of that slogan that says America first. I believe America should take care of my black behind before it takes care of these immigrants. I come first because I've been here. They all speak language. They all speak English as a second language, which they cannot speak very well. And they don't care. They don't think that they have to. You get somebody that leaves here and goes to Mexico, or someone that leaves here and goes to China. They speak Chinese very, very fluently. They speak Mexican. They speak Spanish very fluently.
Speak Mexican.
They don't come over here and don't want to communicate. They don't go over there and don't want to communicate with Chinese people or communicate with Mexican people because they don't like the way you sound when they speak it. Or they just don't like your behind. They don't like your Mexican behind, so they don't want to speak to you in your own nation. We got a lot of people like that today. They come over here, they're multiplying like roaches.
Like roaches?
But yet they really don't want our American butts bothered.
The fuck is this, Rwanda?
They want to be left alone. They don't want to socialize with black people first. A lot of them don't want to socialize with white people either. I've been living up here.
Man, you mean to tell me that people from another country who don't speak the language come here and they stay in their own communities and they talk to people who speak their fucking language, and they don't socialize with people outside of their social group and their culture? I'm literally shocked. So we can, if this was a talk about how to properly immigrate to a country and how to integrate into a different country, a culture, awesome. Let's talk about that. There's so many nuances there that we can cover. Cool. What the fuck does this have to do about atheists? I have no idea. But big issue, I actually have a Chinese speaker in my chat now. Who knows who knows the dialect that he actually speaks? Y'all know whether he speaks Mandarin or Cantonese, and which dialect of either does he speak? Does anybody know? All right. So what are the issues here that people tend not to kind of get, especially if you've not interacted with folks from other countries, is that, yeah, there sometimes is a language barrier. It's like there was a language barrier when people came off of Ellis Isle. Quite a few of them didn't speak the language either, but they found their way to integrate into society somehow. Oh man, it's almost as if they too started in their own neighborhoods and made a little Italy here, made a little this and little that here, and then eventually their kids moved away once they knew the language, and then their folks kind of stayed there if they didn't want to learn the language. They had that choice. But it is what it is. That's every group that has ever immigrated into the United States has done that. Whether they be Italian, whether they be Irish, whether they be Mexicans, whether they be literally any Asian ever, they have done that. So it is interesting that he is complaining about this when that's been the history of anyone who's ever immigrated. That's just, I thought that was something everyone knew. Maybe not. But what the hell this has to do with atheists and utopia? Maybe there's an atheist nation out there, and there's an atheist language or dialect that we need to discuss. I don't know.
Immigrants for probably since November last year, and only one immigrant, and one of the reasons is because me and him work together, has ever shaken my hand, and one helped me pull my groceries up on my porch one day because I was dumb enough to load them up like that and got stuck on the steps. But you know, there's some nice people up here. But
I didn't know immigrants were obligated to be nice to me and do stuff for me. I thought they could go about their own goddamn business and do whatever the fuck they want to because it's America. I'm sorry. I have let's see, right let's see, when I go outside, the neighbors to the left of me, it's this white lady and her kids, and then straight across was a new couple. Some black folks moved across, and then to the right of them is an Indian couple, where there's an Indian couple that's a little bit further down too. And I know a bit of Hindi that I speak to them. None of them are obligated to return any greeting at all. None of them are obligated, but we're all cordial to one another. But that's not like, I'm not going to judge them. I don't know, they might be from they're probably from South India, but it's like, how is this an indictment of everyone from whatever region you think they're from, right? That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I don't like, he has this old man mentality where you get to somehow judge an entire group of people based on choice interactions with folks. Now, Mr. Cruz, where have we heard that from? I want you to take as long as you need to, Mr. Cruz, and think about what you're saying here. Just think about the irony here of you judging an entire demographic of people based on choice interactions in your life. I want you to really sit and let that marinate in the back of your skull. Just think of like there's some irony there. Just a little bit of fucking irony. That's what kills me about you. But please continue, because we're about three quarters of the way through with this video, and I'm still not sure where you've referenced a utopia.
I don't have that flag in the window because I'm a Trump supporter. I got that flag in the window because I'm an American. I'd have that flag in the window if I was a Democrat. Okay? And I also want to remind the people that live up here, because we're outnumbered by immigrants, and me and a white old lady that's been living up here for a long time. We're talking about that today as we were doing our Memorial Day travels. Okay? She's been living here a long time.
Ooh!
She's an old lady who's been living here a long time. Not only here, but other places in America too. I got that flag in the window to remind people what soil they're standing on. We appreciate the privilege of being Americans.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is something that actually does bother me. So you live in a first world nation, and that's some type of what does that actually grant you? So you've lived a long life in a first world nation that has the infrastructure to support people living to a certain age. That's not an accomplishment. That's a consequence, yes, of you living where there are medical facilities and infrastructure that can support a growing population into their elderly years. Like, me and the old lady were talking about, we need to remind, at what point do you think that they woke up and said, oh shit, am I in Pakistan right now? I spent a lot of money moving. What country is this? Canada? Is this North America, or is this? Are we in Brazil? No. This is Portugal. No, we're in Italy. We're in Italy today. Who the fuck? Really? At what point? Like, this is the type of bullshit that annoys me about the older generation, because they somehow think that they understand what others are thinking. But by his own admission, he hasn't actually engaged or interacted with these folks. I'm pretty sure if they spent time and money immigrating here, they know where they're at. They have a pretty good idea. Where they're at. Because it's not cheap to immigrate. Unless you're doing it illegally. Depends on how much you pay the coyotes or traffickers. But, like, you have an and just think about this for a second. You have an American flag in your window, which, awesome, to remind people where they're at. Not because you love America, and this is to show everyone how patriotic you are, but to remind people where they're at. That's fucking stupid. How about, Mr. Cruz, if you love your country so much, why didn't you serve in it? Because I hear this all, like, this kind of shit here, I typically hear from non-veterans. from people who haven't actually taken the plunge. And I think it's cute because now you're trying to make up for whatever stopped you from presumably serving. Because from all indications, doesn't seem as though you did. So you got to go out of your way to be extra patriotic because you couldn't serve the country you love so much. I don't feel the need to do that. I've already shown my patriotism. I got my DD-214. He didn't. No, he actually does meet the height. He can be a tanker. Tankers are 5'2", 5'3". You can be a tanker, but it doesn't require too much of thinking. Trust me. Tankers ain't the smartest motherfuckers in the world, but like I don't get that. I really don't get this need to. This is bravado. Oh, I gotta show these immigrants. Well, yeah, I knew immigrants who served this fucking country while you sat on your fat ass and did what? Complained about your wife? While you were sitting here making excuses as to why you wouldn't do the same thing that some of the Bohica, I know you're armored. I'm just saying, you ain't the smartest motherfuckers in the world. I ain't apologizing. But, like, it's amazing. It's amazing to me to hear some shit like this. I love hearing it. It's like, I gotta show these immigrants. Okay, do you think that's hurting their feelings? Do you like what? I gotta remind them where they're coming from. He's kind of racist, just a little bit, Frank, just a little bit, huh? It's more of a weird mix. It's more xenophobia, actually. It's more xenophobia from him.
In this town right here, and if you go probably about 2 miles around the corner, you will see flags all over the place because I don't know if they don't like immigrants over there or what, but there's sections of this town right here that you won't see an immigrant for about a mile in sight. I mean, there's nothing around there. All you see is the flag in front of everybody's house. And this here is Jumix. Don't tell me that I don't appreciate Mexicans. Say hello.
Wait, so if y'all don't know what Jumex is, it's a Mexican juice. It's a company that makes juice products like, you know, pineapple juice and shit like that. Jumex. So the fact that he's drinking a product of Mexico means he doesn't, you know, he has no hostility towards Mexicans. I'm not racist. I listen to BET. I like rap music. That's literally the equivalent of that. Okay. All right.
To your señorita loco. El dente.
I fuck Cuban women. I'm not racist.
That stuff is good. That's another thing that pisses me off because we have so many Mexicans around. They think that when something is imported over here from Mexico, it's for them. No, my friend, it's for Americans. I just hate, and that's the thing. That's one more thing before I continue with what the video is all about. That's another thing that they do. Like they only want to eat at their restaurants that their people are serving food. And I can go into a restaurant and people will just throw everything in a box for me and sell it to me. Where somebody else did.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, what? Are you? Okay. He makes videos about Christian stuff too, but I don't think he can stay on topic about that either. He's now on this rant about immigrants because he's forgotten what he's actually talking about. Okay. As in America, okay, Jumex is a big company that produces juice. Hugo's Mexicanos. Oh, is that what it actually means? Oh, that's clever. Okay, there we go. We got a Mexican. Thank you. Gracias, Lucas Rodriguez. Muchos gatos en el pantalones for you. All right? So, anytime, there's a few people in the chat who have met me in real life. There's a few of y'all who have actually met me. He's complaining that they only want to eat at places where folks like them make the fucking food. If you have met me in real life, you confirm or deny, be completely honest with the 70 people watching. Do I or do I not complain that anytime I see a place that says Cajun or Creole, and I don't see someone in there cooking that who is Cajun and or Creole, I throw a shit fit. Because I don't think non-Cajun Creole people can make Cajun and Creole food. Please confirm for folks that that is exactly what the fuck I do. Doesn't matter if I'm going to San Diego. Doesn't matter if I'm going to San Francisco or, New York or New Jersey. That's something that stays very consistent with me. So I want you guys in the chat who can't. Okay, here we go. Whoever Sergeant Gibson is, has confirmed that. Yes, I am very. If MP's in the chat, he can verify that I will throw a shit fit if I see that. I am very picky about that. So yes, I am planning on coming to Dallas. For those of you who live in Dallas, me and Arn were actually talking about that a few days ago. So I'm not sure. Maybe later this year. Not too sure, depending on whether the wife gets a permanent job. Right now, she's doing temp work, but she gets a permanent job. I will be making plans to come up to Dallas, and I'll let y'all know. But if I don't see an old Cajun woman making gumbo, I got a huge issue with that. Huge issue with that. Huge. That's like Popeye's gumbo. Whatever shit that they put in that cup or that bowl is just not gumbo. Not nowhere close. So if you are from an area and you know how the food's supposed to taste, you want people from that area to make the food because they know how to fucking do it. There's nothing unique about that. So people from Mexico who have been eating Mexican food for all of their Mexican life want the same quality of food. There's literally nothing unique about that. Nothing at all. That's every group of people who have ever had any culture anywhere. But again, what the hell does this have to do with anything?
It's like of their race. You can walk in that same restaurant and he knows what to buy and what not to buy and how to separate everything to make it more, eatable, Just like Chinese, for example. They'll take a to-go dish and just make everything into a soup and just throw it in there, sell it to you, okay? Whereas when they eat the same food, not only does it look different and taste better, but they separate it. They don't even eat it all together like that. They have rice over here in this dish, noodles over here, broccoli over here, and meat over here. You never see any Chinese people eat the same thing.
How many of y'all think, because I see where he's going with this, how many of y'all think that he doesn't realize that the Chinese food that we have here in America is what they actually eat in China? How many of y'all think that he doesn't know that that the shit here was designed around American palates? I want to see. Actually, how many of y'all did know that? Like shrimp fried rice and all the other kind of shit. All the stuff that we think is Chinese food. Because maybe some of y'all didn't know that, but the shit that we eat here isn't what they eat in China. If you didn't know that, you learned something today. I guarantee you he didn't know that. My wife has actually been to China. She stayed in Korea for a few years. Y'all might not have known that, but she can attest to that. But Mr. Cruz here is upset because he just found this out, ripe old age of 50. But you know what? We're learning.
Chinese food that you eat. You never see that. Same thing with Indian food. They give you something to go, they just throw it in a box. My point is, you are not in control of your life. The powers that sell, the powers that preach, the powers that make decisions for this country, those that are doing trade and investing and selling and educating, not even them really, but those that are paying the educators and those that are buying, those that are connecting with those overseas. They are the power in this country. You are not. And some of these that I just mentioned are only an influence. And until they influence the higher powers, they themselves are not a power, they are just an influence. But you don't want to give yourself or your life to Jesus. But yet, you always will and you always were a slave to the country that you live in. And it doesn't get better anywhere else. That's why they're all coming over here. Okay? Even Muslims don't want to be a Muslim in a Muslim nation. They want to be a Muslim in a liberal nation so they can be a Muslim without all the politics and all the other things connected to it. And I understand that. And I respect that. But I believe America is black and white now. Here, in closing, anybody can lose control. If we keep bringing all these immigrants into this nation, now we didn't already have a black president, okay? If he had been a Republican, I would have been proud of him and I would have been bragging about him. But I will always be a Republican until the Republican Party switches. But we already had a black president.
Okay, if you've missed stuff up to this point, this has literally nothing to do with anything. So he is under the impression that atheists want some type of anarchy. That's if in summation, he has this weird idea that no atheist alive will accept an authority over them. So the point that he is attempting to make is that, well, you don't like authority, TM, but you live in a society that possesses so many facets of control and people who are authorities. That's the point that he is trying to make. The issue lies in the details that one of those categories is beyond reproach. The other is not. Completely missed that out throughout the entire video, where we got to hear about his issue with inflation, which he didn't know what it was. He just was complaining because the penny candies are no longer a penny, and the manufacturer of the candies can't make it that way because they're going to lose money, and the store owner would use the money out of his own pocket to sell the penny candies to the kids, because this is all pertinent information we need to know about this really terrible fucking video. And some guy that he knows, wife who just wanted a luxurious lifestyle, and then she just up and left when we couldn't afford that luxurious lifestyle. And yeah.
Now Europe, is it Europe? I think it has a Muslim president now. And Canada has a Muslim president.
Did he just say Europe has a Muslim president now? No, he did say no. Hold on. Wait. Whoa.
Now Europe, is it Europe? I think it has a Muslim president now. Party switches, but we already had a black president. Now Europe, is it Europe? I think it has a Muslim president now. And Canada has a Muslim president. While they have all these problems with Muslims, or should I say Arab culture that wants to dominate their culture, however you want to put it.
Are you
they're not Europeans. And they're not
fucking kidding me right now? You have got to be kidding me. Did this motherfucker say Europe has a Muslim president? You have got to be one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen on the goddamn internet. Let me start getting ready for fucking class. Let me just I'm going to be thinking about this all day. Oh my God. My fucking water at? Oh my God. He just said Europe has a Muslim president. I don't even want to listen to the rest of the video. I think I'm gonna stop it right here. I think I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. No. 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 Mm-mm. No. Don't forget Kanukistan. I don't even know where to go from here. I'm stuck. Like, I don't get paid enough to do this. There's some dumb shit, folks, that I've heard on the goddamn internet. There's some real dumb shit. I've listened to a story about a fucking family who had a shit knife because for some reason their families produce large and elongated turds. And so they literally had to take this communal knife for the bathroom and cut their turds up in order for them not to clog the toilet. I've actually sat and read that story, and some of you have probably heard that story too. That's not as bad as what the fuck I just heard here. If you're on Reddit, you've probably heard the story of the poop knife. You could probably Google poop knife story. But what do you say about this? Like, I don't. The president of Africa. Oh, that's easy. T'Challa. The T'Challa from Wakanda is the president of Africa. Asia, that's a tough one. Asia is a big country. Asia is a real big country. Not sure. I think it's Mao Zedong, Emperor Chung, the Mandarin. I don't know. I just no. What kills me what actually kills me about this dude is that he thinks that he's trying to educate people. He has no knowledge when it comes to any of the shit that he's actually talking. He knows how to repeat propaganda fairly decently. But this dumb motherfucker is the president of goddamn Europe. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm some goddamn, like, savant when it comes to geography. I learned Italy was a country like 3 years ago upon meeting Fabio. But that's, whatever. Like, the president of Europe? The president of Europe. The president of Europe. Folks, this is your life application officer giving you the most retarded shit on the internet to help your daily life. I just like he's mad that I review his videos and he sounds dumb. And I've told him the best way for me to stop is for him to stop saying dumb shit like this. This is dumb shit. This is absolutely dumb. And he's going to get mad at me later because y'all in the chat laughing at his stupid ass. That whose fault is that? Whose fucking fault is that? That's not my goddamn fault. At all. At all. That's your fucking fault. You did that. I didn't force you to say that. When your wife left, did she take your brain cells too? Like, goddamn. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Oh my god. I don't I don't even know where to go from there because I don't want to listen. There's about 6 minutes left. I don't want to listen to it, honestly. I probably will just let it play. Just to see if he says some more dumb shit. Just to see. Like, there's no way. Like, you know what? If he would have said there's some European country, I think now they have a Muslim president or something like that. Okay, what's your point? But what's this channel? Christian Lives Matter. If you type in Christian Lives Matter, spaced out each word, but he'll come up. He'll come up. First thing that comes up. This is just oh wow.
Not Americans, okay? But anybody can walk into your country and take control. Just like I'm pretty sure within the next 50 years or less. Now, to me, white people have the hub right now. And I'm proud of white people having the hub because that respects me as an African American, if that's what you want to call me. Or an Israelite, as some of these guys insist on saying, okay? But I believe America is black and white. And I believe white people have the hub. And they earn the right to have the hub, to hold the con. They earn the right to be in the driver's seat, is what I'm saying. Now, a lot of black people would like to shoot me in the head for this. But I believe white people have earned the right. Even after slavery, they earned the right to be the leadership of this country. And black people have never done anything that helped black people without the help of white people. There are no black heroes that done it all by themselves.
See, I was wondering how bad this was going to be. This is pretty bad. Like, I'm just off the top of my head, I could name at least 3. Like, I'm pretty sure Each One Teach One didn't really involve too many white people. But all right, fine. I'm pretty sure Black Wall Street was my understanding of the history of Black Wall Street was done by black entrepreneurs. But I guess, you know, that's fine. Okay. Like, there's so much to correct. There's so much to correct. Like, just white people have this inherent quality of just leadership. I don't know. Like, it's. I think this is his way of making sense of his place in the world. Because I can tell you how many of my white peers I outpace very easily. Very easily. There's no inherent whiteness that gives them an edge over me. No. Some of them are just fucking lazy. I'm a lazy motherfucker, but no, just the quality of being white doesn't really grant you anything other than the ability to absorb more harsh radiation from the sun. But, you know, conversely, same can be said in darker pigmented people. That's about it. But just, Jesus. You can't imagine how fucked up in the head he is by just listening to him. But the more you listen, the worse it gets.
Everybody, every country in this country that's been through something to get here, for whatever reason they got here, had the help of white folks. Sure, you know, we can look at the Native Americans, we can look at the blacks, and we can look at the Hawaiians. We can look at the Spanish people. We can look at Puerto Rico.
Native Americans were already here.
And crucify these white people. But on the flip of that, on the flip of the same coin, we have to give respect to where respect is due. Because the same people that persecuted us also healed us and gave us a chance for freedom. Also fought for our freedom. Those was white folks too. Okay? I think. I hope so. Okay? But in the end, God is going to win, no matter what. How do you think the world is going to end? Now that I've said all that, how do you think the world is going to end? Do you think the aliens are going to come down and take over?
I think the president of Europe is going to somehow cause the nuclear fucking apocalypse. That's what I think.
Think that they're, you know what I'm saying? What would happen if the fear of Christians and Republicans were to be true? That multiculturalism took over and Muslims, unless you're that dumb, Islam took over the United States, and they were finally able to make the United States a Islamic country. Then how do you think the world is going to end? And the atheists cannot take over without making new laws and commands that hold people in some kind of bondage, some kind of slavery, so that they don't have the choice of freedom to practice what you felt a long time ago was destroying us. So see, there you go. And then you're going to have some Christian, some Muslim, some Mormon, some Jehovah's Witness, somebody telling a story one day when your plan didn't work. They'll be telling their story of how the atheists got together and they became...
This is part of the persecution complex, folks. Remember, he's not a victim, but this is definitely part of his ongoing persecution complex.
Were atheists, and then they were something else, and then they took over. They started persecuting all these religions and Christians and stuff, and so we're not allowed to do all these things. And now you got people coming out of nowhere, just like atheists. You got these young atheists that barely been born here long enough to hear what the parents got to say. So they can't be professional atheists if there is such thing in the first place. So what are they going to say? Oh, they want to explain to everybody how they've been entrapped and in bondage to others, namely Christians. And they're fighting to get ahead. Well, you know what? If you ever become in charge, there will be all these religions and all these other groups fighting for the same thing. Because you can't be in charge without making people adjust to your charge. And more of that in the next video. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh my God. Okay. That was a lot of stupid. I gotta get the stupid out. Just. Whoo. Okay. Did not expect that. Did not. Pinche cabrón. Man. That one stung. Okay, so if you've not watched Skylar Fiction's talk with Aaron Ford the other night, please go watch it. That will recover some brain cells or make you hate society more, whichever one comes first. But wow, you almost feel sorry for him. How in such a little body hold so much hate and anger and ignorance, and persecution. I don't understand. I really don't understand. How does he live his life? Like his life must be fucking miserable. I genuinely don't get that. Because I know we know people whose lives are not really filled with happiness, right? There's a lot of folks out there, some of us that suffer from depression and anxiety, but I don't think that we have that. Like that's just something. Challenge you to a debate on whether the Muslim immigrants are burning more Bibles or American flags. Sure, why not? Like I feel like I need to pray after listening to that, because wow. Who dropped him on his head when he was a child? We need to punish that person. Just Abba, you can keep putting in those commands in, and nothing's going to happen. I have to set those commands. But yeah, so you're welcome for your daily dose of visual and verbal aids. So there you go. If you're a Christian, please pray for him. The public school system has failed him, obviously. I think there's a cascade of failures that happened in his life to get him to this point. A cascade of failures, because that is just pitiful. Almost every single time. I'm not finished. I probably need to take a break because that was just sad. But no, I fear the more we dig in, the worse it's going to get. And it's going to be a cringe comp. I've actually started a playlist for those who want to go back and just look, because I call it the Cruising for D Roy. That's the name of the playlist. If you want to, because I'm cataloging my adventures with Mr. Cruz. I just, wow. It's almost, you sometimes will find people, you will sometimes find folks who are just really ignorant on certain topics. Like physics ain't like I mentioned, geography, not my strongest topic. History, not that strong on history. But a little bit of something. A little bit of something here and there. Most people do. It's almost like he works hard at being abjectly fucking stupid in almost every topic he talks on. Like politics, sociology, right? Fucking just geography. But it's just foreign policy. I don't know. Economics. Did I say economics already? Religion, philosophy, science, just whatever topic one can study. He knows dick all about it. But let me tell you, he's going to watch some YouTube videos and he's going to get excited. He is going to get excited. History, just almost every fucking topic that he tries to speak on. Abject stupidity. He is fractally wrong. Fractally, if you don't know what the word fractally means, every conceivable way that you can be wrong about something, this man has got it. He has taken the cake. Jesus. Women's studies, I don't, it's surprising. I want to send more videos. Matter of fact, I might send that video to my mother and then get her to see what she says, because she's listened to one of his videos already and she wasn't impressed. And then again, my mother's a Christian, but man, wow. I'm gonna take a walk, right? Because I'm getting my fat ass up and doing something. I'm walking to class, getting exercise. It's a nice way to decompress and spend time getting exercise and shit. But just to get my mind in the correct, state of affairs for it to process biochem stuff, because I can't go into the lab and be competent and have that. I don't want to call it retardation, because that's an insult to people who actually have legit, autism or something. But just, that hurts. That hurts. I'll finish up with this. Because I gotta go. I find it interesting that this is the guy who gave himself a title. He gave himself a role as a life applications officer, whatever the fuck that is. He gave himself a title, a mantle to which he holds himself. And from this title, he wants people to engage in the pedagogical arts. He wants to engage in pedagogy, to be a teacher, to be someone's, Jedi Knight to their Padawan. To teach the young grasshoppers. He wants to actually try and help people. Like his goal, for those of you who are just kind of tuning in and just getting caught up with this, he he wants to he wants to actually teach people stuff. How? How do you teach people stuff when you don't know shit? I'm mind blown as to how he thinks that he can accomplish that. The president of Europe? Really? And that's just one of the issues. That's one. Doesn't understand dick all about economics, history, social, none of the philosophy, nothing. He knows dick all. The majority of his information comes from propaganda on YouTube. He can't even apply this shit to his own life. But man, is he going to try and help you out. Why would anyone in their right mind listen to him? Please explain that to me. Why would literally any person with a modicum of education want to listen to you, Mr. Cruz? I can't think of a person who would view that video or any of the other ones and say, you know what, that's a guy that I need to listen to. He knows what he's talking about. Not a person. I know some pretty dumb people, some pretty gullible folks, but I don't think I know anyone that dumb. Well, I think Jill is smarter than this dude. I think Jesus is Lord actually has one up on Mr. Cruz. Like, it is astonishing that he honestly thinks that people are going to acquiesce to his retarded fucking beliefs. And I'm not talking about like religion. This actually excludes religion, just in general. If this dude told me that there was a dead cat on the side of the road, I'd have to go double check that. Just how unreliable he is as a person. I don't even know what to say. I'm stuck. I'm just stuck. G-Man had one up on him? I don't know. Like, they're neck and neck right now. I see why he identifies with G-Man. I see why. They're on the same intellectual level. They're right there with each other. My God. I have to place a huge emphasis on the fact that it wasn't just the President of Europe comment. That was the icing right there. No, that was a cherry on top. That was the cherry on top of the icing. Every other fucking topic. Oh my God. Okay, I'm done. That's it, folks. That's enough of this AIDS. Yeah. Go do anything. Something. I gotta go. Bye. Just